All right, so here it is.
That was metal sounding.
So this is the. All right,
It's a
so.
bloom.
So.
The bloom?
Yep.
How do we pick that up on the stump?
Okay. All right. So grab. Yep.
Are you able?
Mackenzie, you're over there, so you're grabbing the side.
Watch
of that.
out. Yeah.
So pincer.
Careful.
Carrying it with wood
Yep.
onto wood.
Yep.
We were so inclined to perceive self-care as a selfish act. It is one of the most important things that we can do for the exact opposite reason of selfishness. I work in the mental health social work field, and you will hear self-care more regularly, I think, in that field than anywhere else. It is also where it is the most catch-22'd. I mean, it is. We talk about it all the time. We encourage one another to be engaging with it as much as we can. Your boss is telling you to engage in self-care one day, and then on your next day off is calling you and asking you to come in. Right now, what self-care has looked like for me has been actualizing a dream of mine that I've had since high school to take raw iron ore in its rock form and turn it into workable iron.
That's
Is that what you want?
iron. Is
Oh my
what I'm
God.
like. It's metal is what I'm hitting.
So I hiked up this mountain and collected a fair amount of ore from there. I gathered mud. The furnace has to be made from fine mud. I gathered it from the Colorado River, and you need charcoal as the heating element. Instead of using a hardwood from the East Coast, which is sort of the standard charcoal, can I make it with a tree that's native? And so I used pinyon pine.
And how hot is inside? You said like 900 degrees Celsius.
Is what we're going
I don't even know what that means.
for.
like,
It's
I was
like
900 degrees.
2300.
We built a system using an old squirrel cage fan, which is just a housing with some blades in it that spins, pulls air in, and then dumps it down a tube. And we connected that to a bike, so you could sit, pedal the bike, and that would spin the fan and dump air into the furnace, which was an excuse to invite friends over and have people engaged, and turn it into an event as opposed to just me sitting there by myself in a chair watching charcoal burn away and hoping that it works out. We exist within a capitalist system that is built around extracting as much from whatever the medium is, whether that is materials and resources or people. And one of the challenges when you talk about self-care is that you're saying things that are in opposition to our cultural norms, which makes it really challenging to actually enact the things you talk about when it comes to self-care. It is still challenging for me, even though I'm trying to identify enacting self-care right now in my life. I'm constantly feeling guilty about it. I'm constantly feeling like, well, if I have the time to be taking care of myself, I have the time to be caring for others, which is what I should be doing. And this year has been a lot of that. And unfortunately, our system that focuses on extraction, it is rare for someone to be able to carve out the time to enact self-care when the work they're doing is what allows them to function as a person. And so they never have time.
Right there.
Oh my God.
The child is in the back here.
This is the birth. Go for it.
I was not efficient at all. It required a lot more energy. There was a lot of things that made no sense other than that's how I wanted to do it, and there wasn't anyone who said, well, you can't do it like that because it has to be done at this time or it has to be done this way. I was like, well, I just want to do it this way, so I'm going to. And those are the things that are replenishing, because I'm entirely getting to direct what it is I'm doing and why.
But thank you all so much for participating in this and sticking it out. This is
That was incredible.
I've been dreaming of this for years.
It makes me so sad when people say that they don't have time to follow something that's interesting, follow something that is exciting, or to just rest, because that should be the first thing that we're prioritizing. Even just little moments that we take where we're saying, actually, I need this for me today, and that's what I'm going to do, is it's way more valuable than I think we realize, and it's not something we should ever feel guilty about.